Hello, and welcome to 12-Minute Meditation, a weekly podcast from Mindful that offers mindfulness meditations backed by neuroscience. Research shows that just 12 minutes of meditation a day can yield benefits like increased attention, focus, creativity, calm, resilience, and compassion. So on this podcast, we invite you to explore 12-minute guided meditations from today's leading mindfulness experts. I'm Siri Myram, editor at Mindful. There's a paradox inside mindfulness practice. When we want to heal something, we move toward what hurts, not away from it. It's not easy to keep our hearts soft or open, and a mindful practice doesn't change the inherent risks of being human in a world full of other humans. This week, as part of his mini course, Opening Ourselves Up to Compassion, Vinny Ferraro shares a practice to meet our pain and uncertainty, to recognize our inherent connection, and to summon the courage to lower our defenses anyway. Vinny Ferraro has been a practitioner of insight meditation since the early 1990s. He is a co-founder of the Dharma Punx and co-guiding teacher of Against the Stream Buddhist Meditation Society. He is also a nationally recognized leader in designing and implementing interventions for at-risk adolescents and is currently senior trainer for mindful schools. Ready to practice? Here's Vinny Ferraro.
What does care look like in the presence of difficulty? And I think we can safely say that we all care, but are we caring about the right things? These are words of Hafiz from about 800 years ago. He writes, "My dear, is it true that your mind is sometimes like a battering ram, running all through the city, shouting so madly, inside and out, about the 10,000 things that do not matter?" I think we all have moments in our lives that wake us up to what matters most. Yeah, I had one where a newborn baby, when Valentino was first born, I had to rush into the emergency room because something was really wrong and he needed an emergency operation at about a month old. It wasn't even me running into that hospital with him. It was every parent that ever carried their sick child, their sick baby. It's easy to forget in those moments that we're actually doing something important. We're learning something about this human condition. So how do we train the heart to relax so we can learn about this being human? And not making it about my pain, but connecting to the pain and all the beings that share this condition with me. Only then can we really allow the most caring part of ourselves to come forward. But we have to see where we're hooked and bring compassion to that very place, to that very experience. To really love something, we have to surrender a part of ourselves. So the practice of compassion is waking up to all the barriers we put between ourselves and love. So seeing where we're hooked, because if there's no chance of freedom if we can't see where we're locked up. And if we can't discriminate between a skillful response and a skillful one, we'll just remain in these unconscious patterns. This is Tara Brach. Each time you meet an old emotional pattern with presence, your awakening to truth can deepen. There's less identification with the self in the story and more ability to rest in the awareness that's witnessing what's happening. You become more able to abide in compassion to remember and trust your true home, rather than cycling repetitively through old conditioning. You are actually spiraling toward freedom. So as we open to what's difficult, we are also open to understanding. With this practice, we see that we can direct awareness in a very specific way. In this case, what's the heart's relationship to pain? So we may not be able to save the world, but we do have to find a way to respond, to hold it all. So this beautiful heart quality that knows that I'm not separate from this, as we allow ourselves to be touched. This is the courage of the undefended heart. And it can turn anything into something beautiful with our willingness to touch, to be moved, to practice in this realm. Okay, so again, find a position that's comfortable, allowing your awareness to go internal. Holding yourself and letting go of any demands that you may have on this moment. Let them fall away. So checking in on your heart and your belly as we set an intention to meet whatever arises with as much heart as possible. As our circle of care expands to those that are neutral, no big feelings either way. But let's begin with somebody we're familiar with, a person we see regularly, maybe at the grocery store or in our neighborhood. Picturing them in our minds, knowing they too have their own difficulties. They too know pain, struggle. Offering them the same care as we wished ourselves. I care about your difficulties. May you be held in compassion. May your heart be at peace. Bringing to mind all the different people that we regularly cross paths with, and offering them the same phrases we offered ourselves. I care about your difficulties. May you be held in compassion. May your heart be at peace. Again, as we close this little guided period, noticing if there's any ways that you're judging yourself for not doing it good enough or expecting something else to happen. You just get to set our intention and care about what arises. And over the course of the next week, allowing yourself to see where compassion just naturally arises and where does it need a little bit of help. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of 12-Minute Meditation from Mindful. I hope you enjoyed practicing with us today. Sign up for our free newsletter at mindful.org/signup, and if you'd like to explore additional related content and meditations, check the show notes for links.